Welcome to Module 1.6 that deals with the 25 fundamentals of enterprise. This is drawn from the Interreg Italia-Malta I Know project, although all the material has been developed and prepared here at the Centre for Entrepreneurship and Business Incubation at the University of Malta. We're in the first track, as you can see, the Introduction to Entrepreneurship, and this is 1.6 that covers the 25 key components. Firstly, let's just remind ourselves that enterprise is enterprise. It's a business entity that provides products or services to customers in order to generate a profit. There are two types: a commercial enterprise in which the profits are distributed amongst its owners, and a social enterprise in which there's no such distribution, but rather the profits are used to deliver products and services to beneficiaries. Remember, there's no such thing as a not-for-profit. Every business must make a profit or a surplus. If it runs out of cash, it would have to stop. The Incubatrix model has an anatomy that can be broken down into these components. You'll see there are an inner component in white and an outer component in yellow, but the four quadrants break down into number 1, the bottom right, making products and services; number 2, bottom left, selling them; number 3, running the enterprise; and number 4, funding the enterprise. And all the components that we're going to run through now fit into one of those four quadrants. Firstly, the value proposition is the central component of this model, and it's the customer offer, which is of vital importance, but we also have to generate a value to the enterprise. In other words, a profit or a surplus. So it's two sides of the same coin. Number 2 is the product forecast. What are you going to sell? The easy way to think about this is as a restaurant. A simple menu as a product forecast. Then the market forecast. Who's going to buy this? Some information too about where they're located, what are the buying habits. And early minimum viable product feedback can be very helpful. The enterprise forecast is the basis of the traditional business plan. And this is important to understand the structure that you will need to create a successful and sustainable enterprise. And then finally, the budget, the cash flow forecast, usually written out as one spreadsheet you've done in Excel for every year. It determines the funding needs at the outset. This program includes an Excel template for you to use, as will be described later in the program. Now we move to strategies, and the production forecast defines what the enterprise will produce, but the production strategy defines how the enterprise will achieve that. Similarly, production control relates to how the enterprise produces its products and services while maintaining preset specifications, consistency, and quality standards. Similar things apply with commercial strategy, and that's all the activities and processes designed to help customers easily identify and buy the right products and or services from the enterprise. But brand control is terribly important, brand perhaps being the most important asset of an enterprise. It's hard to win and yet easy to lose, so it includes all of those activities designed to enhance and retain the brand. The people strategy relates to all the personnel needed to ensure that the enterprise operates effectively. It must take into account all personnel, both internal and external, and of course full-time and part-time. Owner's control relates to an agreed business plan and budget. That's the primary method of control, but it will also involve documents such as partnership and shareholder agreements as appropriate. Funding strategy relates to how will you get the money you need. It may not be possible to earn adequate revenue at the outset, so you may also require debt to borrow money or even equity finance. It may also include growth finance to develop the business moving forward. But you have to control that. So financial control relates to all the cash management activities so that cash is spent in line with planned milestones and your budget. That's the central component. Moving to the outer circle in yellow, business resources include everything required by the enterprise to run effectively, internal or external to the enterprise. Things like raw materials, for example. Business partners are those people, individuals or organizations external to the enterprise that you need to deliver the milestones included in the plan. Importantly, innovation management includes all those activities designed to protect the intellectual property of the enterprise and to maximize its commercial exploitation and, if possible, prevent competitors from using your ideas. Business intelligence comes from many sources, and it involves all the information that could identify a risk or an opportunity impacting on the enterprise's business value. Business marketing are all those activities designed to get your key messages to customers. Sales management includes all activities focused on the acquisition of customers, the management of sales operations and logistics, and the customer experience. Moving now to the quadrant relating to management, business recruitment includes all activities needed to get the people on board that you need in order to meet the people strategy. And that means developing and building your business team. It requires a clear understanding by all of the enterprise's brand values so that you get the right people. And the management here relates to milestone management, all the processes needed to ensure that activities are executed and communicated as planned, on time and within budget. Moving to business value then, this really looks at the balance sheet. We'll look at that later, but this is money coming into the company, or value coming into the company, reputation and so forth. And the latter point is critical for equity finance, as we'll see in a later module. Business profitability does relate to the profit and loss account, as we'll look at later, but it's of less relevance for a new business when the P&L, as it's sometimes referred to, is typically derived from the cash flow forecast. At the early stages, for example, a new business may make no profit at all. It may make a loss until it becomes profitable. But all of this has to be managed carefully. So financial management ensures that the enterprise operates economically, does not trade insolvently, and meets its statutory obligations efficiently. So in conclusion, this enterprise anatomy that forms the basis of the income matrix model provides a framework for building a business, or for operating an existing one. It allows new founders to allocate time and resources efficiently. It offers a common language for educators and incubator, accelerator, and business park managers to communicate with tenants, and facilitates the assessment of business viability, irrespective of business sector or type, as we'll see later. So in the lecture, that will be the end of the presentation where we ask for any questions. For now, we simply say thank you for watching.